2517, do you want to report a UFO? Over.
Negative. We don't want to report.
Aries 31, do you wish to report a UFO? Over.
Negative. We want to report one of those either. We're turning away immediately and leaving flat on 35.
With the existence of aliens and UFOs, or rather non-human extraterrestrial intelligences, coming into the spotlight more frequently and publicly now, a concern arises. How does the existence of aliens and UFOs factor into religion? Research data shows that out of the Earth's population of more than 8 billion people, 80% affiliate themselves with some religion or religious upbringing. Of that, Christians remain to be the world's largest religious group, followed by Muslim. Governments, theologians, religious leaders, and millions of Earth's citizens, for that matter, are asking these related questions for their own reasons. Will the appearance of UFOs change religious beliefs? Will people start worshiping extraterrestrials instead of God or Jesus? Is the existence of extraterrestrials a new religion on the horizon? Will the belief in extraterrestrials soon replace religion? Are UFOs a threat to Christianity? Would finding aliens shatter religious beliefs around the world? And finally, will religion meet with alarming crisis and even collapse upon confirmation or full disclosure of contact made between Earth and non-human extraterrestrial intelligence? Imagine here, for one moment, that you have been taught all your life that aliens and UFOs just do not exist. They only exist on your television screen or maybe on a computer game. Let's also bring in that your religion or faith perhaps does not accommodate or even discuss openly such things as extraterrestrials and UFOs. How many of you, in the past in fact, have been told that aliens and UFOs are the works of the devil? Now imagine one warm summer night, you step outside for a stroll with your dog, Wally, shall we say. Suddenly, the night air becomes quiet and still. You feel like something's off. You then notice a glowing orb-like object just above you, about 300 feet or so. There's no sound coming from it. Would you freeze in shock? The light from this mysterious orb-like UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, makes your whole body feel strangely warm, like you've been standing in the afternoon sunlight. So you quickly gather up Wally and run inside. You look at the time and realize that an hour has mysteriously passed by. Imagine what thoughts would be racing through your mind. Confusion, fear, bewilderment. It's human nature to compare new experiences with our past experiences, and yes, even with our belief systems, namely, in this case, for many, from our religion or faith. Historically, millions have looked to their faith in times of crisis with prayer, seeking answers to that which they cannot explain or do not understand. Another scenario. Imagine now that in addition to this experience, you had been ill with a chronic health condition for many years or even just months. Hours later of your experience and missing time, you start to feel that your chronic health condition seems to no longer be there. It has seemingly disappeared. Days later, you come to realize you seem to have been suspiciously, shall we say miraculously, healed of your health condition after this ET contact experience. Perhaps now, inner conflict involving your belief systems begins to unfold. You have just been healed, and not seemingly by an angel or Jesus, but by ET. These scenarios are actually true UFO and ET contact experiences that hundreds of thousands have already actually experienced, including myself. I too had an ET facilitated medical healing. I can say that my experience initially caused significant inner conflict between my religious upbringing in the Roman Catholic Church and the rather abrupt realization of the actual existence of extraterrestrials and UFOs. My world, my belief system turned upside down. Nowhere at any time within my Catholic upbringing did the topic of aliens, extraterrestrials, or even UFOs ever come up, save the mention that, anyway, they are the works of the devil. That initial shock and emerging inner conflict churned in my stomach and began to turn my brain numb at times. Part of my conflict within, I began to feel gratitude towards these off-world visitors that had given me such a fright, yet there was gratitude for saving my life. In my mind, I kept thinking, was it even okay to feel like this? Especially since I was told at one point that aliens were the works of the devil? Along those same lines of this immense wow factor that ET contact experiences are subject to so many times, there is this fear by some institutions that such experiences with ETs and UFOs could create a new religion. A religion that perhaps would replace established ancient religions. A religion that worships extraterrestrial intelligences and UFOs. Will ETs, or non-human extraterrestrial intelligences, be worshipped in a new religion? Or even in cult-like fashion for performing what seemingly looks, by all accounts, like miracles, and with the displays of unimaginable and incomprehensible technology? Diane Polka, a professor at the University of North Carolina, suggests that the belief in UFOs is following the same historical patterns marked by new ways of religion. She believes that it's possible that humanity is willing to embrace this new religion, since space exploration plays a very important role. Reported by the New York Post in 2021, NASA hired a couple dozen theologians to study human reaction to aliens. And one of those human reactions is how this will affect religions and spirituality. So, will UFOs and aliens actually become a new religion? And if so, why? In 2017, a well-written and thoughtful article in Scientific American by Michael Shermer, titled "Belief in Aliens May Be a Religious Impulse." He discusses the soul's inherent impulse to search, an impulsive innate search for that something or someone to fill this inner void within us.
She's convinced there's something out there just beyond our reach. An answer to our eternal questions. Who are we? Where are we heading? What is our true potential?
He goes on to point out that in the book Plurality of Worlds, that when Isaac Newton's mechanical universe replaced the medieval spiritual world, it left a lifeless void that has since filled with the modern search for extraterrestrial intelligence. In the book, Are We Alone? By physicist Paul Davies, he states that what I am more concerned with is the extent to which the modern search for aliens is, at rock bottom, part of an ancient religious quest. When Davies refers to the term religious quest, I think it may be better defined in context here as a spiritual quest. The terms religious and spiritual are perhaps incorrectly used interchangeably. Are the different definitions or meanings of these two terms adding to misunderstandings to the subject of aliens and religion? For a person can be religious and not spiritual, or spiritual and not religious, or both. Are you on a religious quest or a spiritual quest? Did you have a religious experience or a spiritual experience? Another observation was made by historian George Basala, where he says that the idea of the superiority of celestial beings is neither new nor scientific. It is a widespread and old belief in religious thought. In the book, Extraterrestrial Intelligence and the Catholic Faith, asking, Are we alone in the universe with God and the angels?, published in 2022 by Dr. Paul Thigpen, with a PhD in historical theology and appointed by the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops to their National Advisory Council, answers this question within the Catholic faith. Does evidence of proof of extraterrestrial existence disprove the Christian or Catholic faith? And his concluded answer to that was, no, not at all. His answer to the question, is the belief in ETI, extraterrestrial intelligence, compatible with the Catholic Church's teachings? Simply put, he answers, yes. In his book, he also explores these questions, among others. Are alleged encounters with ETIs simply a form of demonic deception? This question perhaps included by the belief of many in the Christian faith or other religions in the past, leading to some to believe that perhaps aliens and UFO are the works of the devil. He also addresses the question of what might be the spiritual and moral status of ETI and what relationship might they have to Jesus Christ. In research data and experiencer accounts, it has been reported that thousands have had visions or other first-hand experiences of seeing a non-human extraterrestrial side by side with Jesus or other spiritual masters, saints, or avatars, and even described by some experiencers as, it's one big happy family up there. In Dr. Thigpen's book, he points out through historical research that in ancient and past times, even Plato, Sir Isaac Newton, and Benjamin Franklin all speculated about life beyond our planet. Catholic saints and blesseds even spoke of extraterrestrial intelligences, such as Pope John Paul II, Saint Padre Pio, and Blessed Stigmatist Anne Catherine Emmerich. It appears to be evident here that the Roman Catholic Church has not only known about ETI presence for centuries, but also has been addressing this topic on aliens and religion from historical times to present day, and currently with indications of adaptivity to the known existence of non-human off-world visitors. How many other religions around the world have also been researching and are aware of the actual existence of ETI? Is humanity and the various religions globally ready for full disclosure and the undeniable truth of the existence of off-world and interdimensional non-human intelligence or peoples? In an article published in the Muslim Vibe in 2023 by Nouri Sadar, he says that the Holy Quran alludes to the existence of alien life multiple times, such as in the passage, "All praise is for Allah, Lord of all worlds." He goes on to say, it can be said that perhaps some Islamic literature can be interpreted to point towards the existence of life beyond Earth. In 2011, as reported by the Seattle Times, the Nation of Islam Convention, specifically the annual Savior's Day Convention, decided to include talk of UFOs in the lineup. The panel included a group of scientists. At this convention, Ismail Muhammad, the religion's national assistant minister, told the Associated Press that there have been enough accounts and sightings and enough documentaries made that I don't think you would find too many people that would call it crazy. What does Judaism say about the discovery of aliens? An article written by Aaron Moss in Chabad.org says that the discovery of ETs would pose no more of a threat to Judaism than would be the discovery of a new species of rabbit. He goes on to say that it would be limiting God's power to say that he could not have placed life on other planets. In the Jewish biblical book of Judges 5:23, there is even a reference to an inhabited place called Meroz, which the Talmud identifies as a star. So, are the world religions ready for full disclosure? Will religions be ready to incorporate or adapt their teachings with proof and full disclosure of ETI into their religion? The Peters ETI Religious Crisis Survey by Professor of Systematic Theology Ted Peters, in collaboration with Pacific Lutheran Theological Seminary and the Center of Theology and Natural Sciences, concluded that after responses from individuals from 7 major religions, including Roman Catholic, Protestant, Evangelical, Orthodox, Mormon, Judaism, and Buddhist, that it is indicated that there is widespread acceptance of the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence and incorporation of ETI into their existing belief systems. It further concluded that religious persons, for the most part, do not fear contact. Would we today put such an advanced spiritually and technologically non-human benevolent intelligence up on a pedestal and actually form a new religion and worship them? Now, 500 years or more ago, because of the non-existence of advanced technology and modern medicine, a light above that healed or interacted with a human could easily have been misinterpreted or perceived to be that of an angel or God himself. Furthermore, historically and even today, an individual's religion or faith is where one commonly turns to in times of crisis. But in today's world, wouldn't perhaps the worshiping of aliens as a god take the evolution of this earth and its peoples backwards? In the academic research book, Beyond UFOs, The Science of Consciousness and Contact with Non-Human Intelligence, which polled and collected data over a 5-year span from first-hand ET contact experiencers globally and conducted by the Dr. Edgar Mitchell Foundation for Research into Extraterrestrial and Extraordinary Experiences, found that almost 3/4 polled felt that contact with non-human extraterrestrial intelligences changed their life for the positive, and their contact experiences positive as well. At least half had a medical healing. Over half received a message of oneness or love. And over 3/4 stated that their concern for the spiritual matters had increased. Do these findings indicate that Earth's humans, for the most part, are indeed ready for full disclosure without mass panic? Throughout the history of movies, television, radio, media, film, and even digital games within this past century, have non-human extraterrestrial intelligences been seemingly disproportionately portrayed as something to fear?
Well, all we know of aliens is from movies, so it's...
The Hollywood Disclosure Alliance, a nonprofit, states that since the dawn of the motion picture age, over 600 feature films have been produced depicting aliens and flying saucers. Well, I ask you, how have they been depicted? How closely do these films portray the truth? How many are actually fiction-based versus factually based? The Hollywood Disclosure Alliance strives to now work directly with content creators, the film industry, and all forms of media by providing the long-denied facts and knowledge regarding the presence of extraterrestrial life. The goal? Bringing together the entertainment industry and the UAP, ET, research, and experiencer communities. Is this further indication that humanity is indeed ready for that full disclosure of the existence of non-human visitors? Is humanity ready to understand and incorporate ET and UFO disclosure into their lives? Be it on a personal level, within religions, and too within governments on a global basis? In these present modern Earth times, perhaps some that have not been properly informed may tend to impulsively fall into a new religion or God narrative in search of filling that inner void. However, academic research studies indicate otherwise, that this is simply not what humans will do if given the truth. The shared knowledge and wisdom from those individuals and institutions that have already experienced ET contact and have witnessed this truth.
Cosmic thoughts, gentlemen. We were speculating. Is God really out there? Maybe he's not out there, Bones. Maybe he's right here. Human heart.
With full ET disclosure, some believe that religion is no longer needed in this world. Simply not with my experience. I've come to realize that all true religions still have their place for millions on their life path. It is respectively part of their journey, as it was for mine for many years. Religion can be as a stepping stone, a path, giving comfort, hope, and support on one's journey. I have seen this. Religion is right for some, as is solely spirituality, or even as atheism is right for others. Either way, we are all on a spiritual journey. That is all souls universally, and whether you are human or not human, though many on earth have not yet realized this yet. You have heard the saying, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. One final thought for you to ponder. Does not every major religion globally talk about, within its teaching somewhere, to love thy neighbor? In all major religions, where does it specifically say that our neighbor must be from the same planet as us? Or dimension for that matter. Well then, are not off-world visitors our neighbors too? Our galactic neighbors? My life indeed did an about-face when I came to realize that yes, there are extraterrestrial peoples from other places and galaxies, and even from other dimensions visiting Earth. I adapted, I gained new understandings, and all for the better. Did I sacrifice my religion upon this realized truth? I gained a greater understanding of the universe, source, God, consciousness, and spirituality. I've come to realize that they are not here to change or cancel religion, but to change consciousness, our awareness of the truths, and that they do not wish to be worshipped as gods, but as our equals in this universe. I have respect for the Catholic religion and what it taught me. In the realms of spirituality and the soul, all paths perhaps, sparked by that inner search within to fill a void, eventually lead to the same destination, where the bigger picture and mysteries of the universe are revealed and realized. In the bigger picture, beyond the conflicts, I think the truth is not out there, it's here.